Good evening, future Creekside families. We're going to give just a few more minutes for the rest of the folks to join us who've signed up for this evening, and then we will get started. Hope I know I've shared my screen. Are families able to see the Q&A?
They can see it by clicking on it once. Do you see the window down below? They should be able to click on that and see it. Yep.
Excellent.
Yep, somebody already said we can see it.
Yay. Thank you.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Good evening, future Creekside crew member families. We're going to give other families just a minute or two to join us before we get started this evening. Ms. Thompson, are you able to see how many families we have on?
Yep, we have 101 in right now.
Okay. We had a few more register, so we'll give them just another minute.
Yeah, it's still climbing.
Okay, good. Let me know when it slows down a little bit.
Okay.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. You think it's a good time?
Yep,
Okay.
go ahead.
Excellent. Well, welcome, future Creekside crew families. We are so excited to be able to share a little bit with you this evening about what the experience is like at Creekside. I know students are excited about the transition and excited to be back in school on a regular basis. And we're just happy to share with you what life is like at Creekside. We have a huge panel for you this evening. Ms. Thompson and myself, I'm Tammy Reich, the principal at Creekside Crew. We're going to be sharing our presentation, but we do have a large panel with us this evening. 5th grade teachers, 6th grade teachers, counseling, special education to kind of share or answer some questions that you might have along the way. So feel free in the Q&A to post a question and our team will be there to try to answer that for you. I know we don't have a lot of time to get to a bunch of individual questions, so we really thought this would be a good way to try to answer as many questions as possible during the presentation. If you wouldn't mind, staff, maybe just take a minute to turn your camera on and say hello and who you are. Denise, let's start with you. Yeah.
I'm Denise Dutcher. Hi, everyone. I am both a 5th and 6th grade personalized and competency-based math mentor.
Karen
I
Scott,
am
go
Karen,
ahead.
oops, sorry. I am Karen Scott. I'm a 5th grade Pinnacle teacher.
Carrie,
I'm Carrie Ragnus. I'm the school counselor at Creekside.
Beth,
Hi, I'm Beth Kovarik. I am one of the special education teachers at Creekside.
Rachel,
Hi, I'm Rachel Wilson. I teach band and I can answer questions about the music programs at Creekside.
Kirsten,
Hi, I'm Kirsten Korf, and I am a 6th grade summit teacher.
Jane Montero,
Hi, I'm Jane Montero, and I teach 5th and 6th grade art at Creekside.
Kelly,
Hi everyone, I'm Kelly Perchek. I teach 5th grade summit.
and Jane Webby.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jane Webby and I teach 6th grade summit. Thank you.
All right, did we get everybody?
I think so.
Fantastic. All right, so those are the folks that we have to help you out this evening. If you have a question, feel free to post it in the Q&A and they will be happy to answer any questions. If we do have lots of questions and we have a hard time keeping up, please know that you can reach out to us after the presentation. I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have. So real quick, just some introductions. Aside from the ones that we did, I'm Tammy Reich, building principal.
And I am Lauren Thompson. I'm the assistant principal at Creekside.
And we are excited to share Creekside with you this evening.
So at Creekside, the structure of the teams and the teaching and the experiences that your students would have are that we usually have teams of 2 teachers. This is true in both Pinnacle and in Summit. So for instance, your student would have one teacher for math and science and then another teacher then for social studies and language arts. It might be different based on how the 2 teachers that work together decide they're going to structure their day. But typically there are 2 teachers per team. We do this year have a couple self-contained classrooms, and it's determined based on how many students we have enrolled in Pinnacle, how many in Summit, how many total students we have. So we'll know the makeup of what our teams look like after we get the parent feedback in from the surveys. Go ahead and skip. So some experiences your students going to have at Creekside that's a little bit different than what they've had until they in the younger grade. So every student will have to participate in a music in some way. This is really exciting because a lot of our students are excited to do band, do orchestra, get that instrument, be in a full choir. So every 5th grade student will make the determination on what music they would like to attend. If they choose to not be in orchestra, band, or choir, we do have a general music class for those students to attend. But they will attend one of their music times, they will attend their music during our flex class period. So this is a time in the day, kind of in the middle of the day. So 5th grade is somewhere around 11 to 11:42, and then 6th grade's following that. And in that time, they have their music 2 to 3 times a week. And then the other 2 days or 3 days, they would then participate in some of these really cool flex classes that our teachers put on. So some examples of those would be math games, Lego Masters, Makerspace, movement and fitness, drama. There's all kinds of really cool things. Mindfulness we've had in years past. And those flex classes are not something that you sign up for as parents. These are things that your students will share with their teacher, that these are the interests that I have, or these are the flex courses that I'm interested in. And then the teacher, their homeroom teacher, will then determine what flex class they would attend from there. So it's not like high school and middle school where you have to submit an enrollment form and pick classes that you want. This is done in the classroom setting with the classroom teacher, but it's a chance for them to get their feet wet with some elective classes and have some choice in their day.
There's lots of field trips and experiences and activities that kids get to participate in as 5th and 6th graders at Creekside. Things that we have done in the past for 5th grade field trips and activities are a Move It Day, which is actually our one major fundraiser of the year, similar to what a fun run would be, but students move as they are able through the track and get sponsors, and then that money supports projects that we have going on at school. We have a project fair where students can enter into a project fair, something that they're proud of that they've done over the year, or something they might be interested in that they would like to explore a little more. We do a colonial day where students experience what life was like in colonial days through different activities. And we visit Greenfield Village. And these are just some examples. Each year, based on what's going on, we've had opportunities to add or do things differently along the way. 6th grade field trips and activities include the Detroit Institute of Art. We've visited in person in the past, and we've done virtual tours throughout the pandemic. We do portable ponds with Mr. Baker. He comes into the school and brings ponds, and kids learn about pond life and aquatic life. And again, 6th grade also gets an opportunity to participate in Move It Day. Other things that go on in the building that support students, we have an RTI program. This actually takes place during the flex classes that Ms. Thompson mentioned earlier. And this is for students who might need extra support in reading or math. And a teacher would notify parents if a student qualifies for RTI during that time. We have an extended day program, which is an after-school support class for students who might need a little extra time in certain subject areas. We also have high schoolers. The Honor Society comes and will tutor students during that time. I talked a little bit about Move It Day, but here's some more for you. It's physical and all-inclusive fundraiser event, and then lunch recess. As a building, we did a lot of research on when's the best time to have recess, and have found that having 20 minutes before their actual lunchtime of having recess prior to lunch actually supports their eating, it supports their movement, and actually supports their attention as they move on throughout the day.
Right. So the daily schedule for your student will be determined by the teacher or the teacher team on what makes sense for their schedule with regards to when they have their specials time, which we'll discuss later. And obviously you can see that flex time in there. So usually teachers typically have math sometime in the morning. Then they would move to a reading and writing kind of block or time. Then they might have their special area, which could be lifetime fitness, art, world languages, or media. Then they have that flex music RTI portion of the day. Then they might have their lunch recess. So they would go out to recess for 20 minutes and then have their lunch following. Then they might do science after that, recess, and then social studies. But again, this is going to be determined by the team of teachers that your student will have. And our teachers do a phenomenal job of communicating their schedules with our parents. So you will have no question as to what your student is doing throughout the day. And most everyone has their schedules posted in the classroom. So all students know what their day is going to look like and what they're going to need to be prepared for.
Okay, another exciting thing that happens for students at Creekside is this opportunity during their day to participate in some special area curriculum. And what we have at Creekside for students is an art and design. We have lifetime fitness, we have media, and we have world culture and language. It looks a little different at Creekside than what you might remember or what they might remember from Wiley when they get here. Instead of switching day by day to a different special, students at Creekside attend the same special every day for a period of time. And in art, students have 2 rotations of that special art and design. And it's 1 4-week and 1 5-week rotation. Being able to participate in the same special day after day allows them some continuity to be able to finish and complete projects in art or units in other classes. There are some specifics on this slide about each of the special area classes that we have. And just know, I'm not going to read through all of them for you, but this presentation is going to be posted and the slideshow will be posted on the webpage tomorrow. So if you wanted to dig a little deeper, you can. In Lifetime Fitness, students have an opportunity to do 2 5-week rotations and 2 4-week rotations. And world language is also like art and design with 1 4-week and 1 5-week rotation. Media is a little different in that students get to go once a week. And the reason for that is we want them to be able to have exposure and access to the resources in the media center throughout the year on a weekly basis. So students will attend media once a week.
Okay, we have a ton of opportunities for our students to be involved within the school and also have leadership opportunities. Obviously, some of these we were not able to do over the last couple of years with COVID, but we're starting to bring things back as things become safer. So we are excited. This next week, we have our first activity night coming back. And that's just a great time for kids to be able to come here, be with friends, play yard games, watch movies, dance, play in the gym. It's just a time for kids to be kids. We do have a student council that's involved in all kinds of leadership that provides leadership opportunities for our kiddos, and they're involved in a lot of the doings and the happenings of Creekside. We have our school safeties. We have a SNAP program. We have Quiz Bowl, Spelling Bee. We had a very robust kitchen garden. We're hoping to kind of get that back in action. We have a recycling club, we have beekeeping, and then we have other clubs that kind of pop up when we have student interest that dictates those clubs. We also have an enormous amount of our kids that participate in community ed programs following school. So there are opportunities, after school opportunities for our kiddos here at Creekside as well. And then we also have a lot of support services for our students here. So we have resource room teachers, we have teacher consultants who work with our students who have individual education plans. We have a full-time school counselor, which is amazing. We have a full-time school social worker. We have access to a school psychologist who is here more now than she has been. So we're very excited about that. We have our students who need it have access to a physical therapist. We have speech pathologists, and we have occupational therapists for students who need those services. We also work very, very hard here at Creekside to provide universal accommodations for all of our students. So, that is, providing differentiation and just following the needs of the students within the classrooms to make sure their needs and their interests are taken into account in our teaching. And our teachers do a phenomenal job here providing those universal accommodations. We do have a child study program when our teachers or parents are concerned about students, academic requirements or their social needs. And so we are able to meet as a team to determine what interventions are needed for that child and what other processes or procedures we need to do in order to support the needs of our students. So we have students here that have 504 plans, and I am one of the 504 coordinators, and so is Ms. Ragnus, our school counselor. And then I said before, we have a lot of support for our students with IEPs. So if anybody has specific questions about that and what that transition looks like from Wiley to Creekside, that is my email right there. And then Ms. Kemble is our special ed department chair within the building, and either one of us can try to answer any question you may have.
All right. And overall, just a great thank you for finding some time for us this evening. Looks like the rain may have stopped and the sun's trying to peek out this evening. I hope you get an opportunity to enjoy that. We do encourage you to also visit our website where you can view presentations on Summit and Pinnacle Learning. Families and parents should have received their parent input surveys that you complete electronically. If you have not received that, please reach out to us so that we can get you a link and you can provide some parent input on our placement for your child next year. Those surveys are due by April 15th. We really ask that everyone do their best to get it done by April 15th so that we have all the information that we need as we begin the placement process. Oftentimes families might forget, and then in the summertime they want to provide information, and at that time it could be a little late. So the sooner you do it, and definitely before April 15th, then we appreciate that. We hope you take care, and we do look forward to meeting each Creekside crew member in the fall. We will have some type of open house in the fall, so stay tuned and we will share some information about that. We're happy to stay on for a few minutes and maybe answer a few questions live. Ms. Thompson, do you want to pick out a few out of that Q&A and we can maybe start answering them?
Yes, we do have participants that have their hands raised. So if you do we want them to just put that in the chat and then we can kind of address, or not the chat, the Q&A?
Yeah, if it goes right in the Q&A, then we'll go ahead and do our best to answer that.
Okay, I'm trying to pick up. One question is, if Chinese is for 6th grade, what do 5th graders have?
Yeah, so we're still working on that as a district and determining what we're going to do as far as language for next year for specifically for 5th and 6th graders. So stay tuned. We'll have more information on that as we move on. It's mostly about questions about staffing. Do we have enough people to do all the things that we want? So.
Another question is, are the Wiley 4th grade teachers knowledgeable about Summit and Pinnacle? I'm wondering if they could help advise us on which one to choose.
So I would recommend that you go back to the website and look at the presentations. 4th grade teachers do have some information about Summit and Pinnacle, but I would ask that you look at those presentations because I think that you might get a more rounded information on that.
Let's see. This is a tough one. When you look at test scores as kids enter high school, are there any differences between Pinnacle and Summit?
Well, we have seen higher test scores come out from some of the Summit classrooms, but there are a lot of variables that go into that. So I'm not sure that, I would make a decision based on test scores. I would make a decision for your child based on what their learning style is. That's really what the focus is between the two pathways.
Yeah, and I would also say, we're a 5th and 6th grade building, so there's another 2 years before they get to high school that we can't speak to. So we can only kind of speak to how they transition into Mill Creek. Hope that helps. Can you flip between Summit and Pinnacle by year?
Yeah, so if you want to give it a try in 5th grade and decide after 5th grade that you want to do something different in 6th grade, that is an option for you. So if you enter Creekside as a Summit student, it doesn't mean you have to leave as a Summit student. And if you enter as a Pinnacle student, it doesn't mean you need to leave as a Pinnacle student. You do get the opportunity to experience both if that's what you want to do.
Trying to see if there's any more. I think we've answered the ones that, is there an Apex option for Creekside students?
No, there's not. It's either Summit or Pinnacle at Creekside.
Can you switch between Summit and Pinnacle during the year if it's not a good fit?
So we recommend that you don't. And honestly, we really believe that any child can be successful in either pathway. So if a student is struggling, we really want to focus on what's the reason behind the struggling and to provide supports, whether you're a Summit student or a Pinnacle student. I saw someone asked something about Run Club.
Yep, I answered that one. They're asking if Run Club would be returning. That Mr. LeGros and Angie Scott run, and yes, it will. They love that program and it's amazing for our kids. Somebody just asked, where are the presentations for Summit and Pinnacle?
So if you go to the Dexter Community Schools page and you click on Creekside Intermediate School, there's a tab at the top that says academics. And if you hover over that, you should be able to find the Summit and Pinnacle information, as well as the recording from this evening's presentation will be included in there probably sometime tomorrow.
Oh, somebody just uploaded it into into the Q&A if anybody needed it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Thompson, do you see anything else for us?
I don't see any more.
So families, here's what happens. The presentation ends, you start to have a conversation as a family and more questions arise, and that is probably what should be happening. So when that happens, please reach out. Let us know what your questions are. We really want to help you and your child make a smooth transition to Creekside. We're really excited to have them. And we know that so many more options open up to them as they come to Creekside and some decisions that they have to make. And so sometimes, that's exciting. And sometimes it can also be a little worrisome about making decisions. So we're happy to help you and guide you in that process. And we look forward to seeing everyone in the fall. Have a great evening, everyone.